Hi everyone, welcome to a new video. I found this beautiful piece of fabric at the thrift shop. It was like a whole roll. Like, look at the details, it was so pretty. And I immediately had like this vision of what I wanted to make, this cute dress. So that's what I'm gonna do in this video. I had to get some supplies. Of course, I brought my green ruffle bag with me. And I live in Amsterdam, so I cycled to the fabric store. It's one of my favorite stores to get my supplies. Like, look! I got some threads, matching my fabric, and then it was time to start sewing. First I'm gonna make my own pattern. I'm gonna use this dress I own to make like a basic dress pattern. I made another video about how you can very easily trace items you already own to make a pattern. It's quite easy. Like, this dress has a front and a back panel, and I just make sure I trace it correctly. And yeah, that's what I did. I do have to adjust it later to match my design, but yeah, that will come later. When you're making your own pattern, don't forget to add seam allowance. I wrote down how much I added on each side, and then I just had to cut it out. I did make a mistake, because here I'm like checking if it matched up, if it was like symmetrical, and it wasn't. It would have been way easier if I just traced half of the dress and then fold it over to make sure it's symmetrical, or just when I cut the fabric, do it with the fabric folded. Yeah, you will see it later in this video. So for the front panel, I didn't make the same mistake. I just traced half of the front panel, and then it was time to measure where I wanted my design to start. I measured the front and the back from the shoulder down. Yay! And I marked this on the pattern I made. All I had to do now was cut it, and the pattern pieces are ready. So because I made half pieces of the pattern, I have to cut it on the fold. So I folded the fabric, and I will lay down my pattern piece on the fold. So when I cut it out, you have one big piece. Cutting, cutting, cutting! This is the back piece, and it will look like this. Yeah, you have one big piece. I repeated the same for the front piece. Like, the amount of fabric on this roll, there's so much fabric, so I can easily do other projects as well. But oh well. So next I folded over the front, the top part. I folded it over twice, and I saw that it was way too wide. I had to make it less wide, so I trimmed the piece off to make it more like the design I wanted. It's looking better. Yep, double thumbs up. And I did the same for the back piece, folding over the top edge twice. And it was already beginning to look like the design I made. I decided to first sew together the side parts before I would do the top part. And I just sew a straight stitch, and after that I will do a zigzag stitch. Say hi to Yanni. Yanni is my sewing machine. I got out all my sewing supplies to decide which color of fabric, which color of thread I was going to use. and I decided to go for this super pretty bright pink and also some black thread. I popped everything into my machine, making everything ready. One thing I love to do is test out a little piece of fabric to see if everything is set to the right settings, if everything works correctly. And once I tested it out, I can start sewing. Yeah, when I start sewing, I completely forget the time, I forget to eat, I forget to pee. I just get in a flow and I can, honestly, I can just do it like all day, every day, I think. I finished the side parts and now I am gonna do the top part. I folded over everything twice and I'm just sewing it down and it looked like this. Looking very pretty. I just hemmed along the top and let's try it on. Yeah, this is perfect, like going down on the sides and not too small because I want 2 straps to come here with 2 big buttons. It's much too wide, but I was thinking to put in some elastic like this. Yeah, but maybe I shouldn't have finished this but put the elastic in first. So maybe I have to undo I have to undo what I just did. Yay! And most of the time I don't know what I'm doing. Yep. Ripping everything open and putting the elastic in felt like a task for another day, so I just had my dinner and I started working on the straps. Sew them down and turn them inside out, and I called it a night. Good night! I found this big bag of buttons at the thrift shop last week. It was like 750 euros and it is such a big bag. Yeah, I have to choose some buttons for this project. I think like not only fabric but also like zippers and buttons, you can, at least here in the Netherlands, you can find them at the thrift shop, so it's a tip. I want to make like little pockets, maybe these ones. I'm just gonna try some stuff out and I will show you. So for the big buttons, I will definitely be going for these big ones because I think the color matches up perfectly. And then these will be little pockets. They're not done yet, but I just laid them out so I can see which buttons I might choose, but not really feeling the red ones. Nope. Yeah, I think that will work for sure. What do we think? After choosing my buttons, I had to finish the other strap. They're inside out and it's looking pretty. So these are the straps I made. Very cute, and I will assemble them later. First, it's time for this task I was dreading, which is putting in the elastic. I measured at the back how tight I wanted it to be, and then I had to get my best friend, the seam ripper, oh yeah, to rip open the top part on the back, and then I just pinned the elastic into place. And just taking my time, pinning everything. And then just sewing a straight stitch. Making sure I stretch the fabric as I sew. And then I fold it over the fabric again. like it was before. And then, and then I put it on, and then I saw that it was still way too wide. The elastic was not tight enough. I do this very often, like make the elastic not tight enough. So here's my best friend, the seam ripper again. Oh yeah, and some pepernoten snacks. I think it's a Dutch thing. But yeah, I cut off a piece of the elastic to make it way more tighter. And I repeated the same process, and this time, yeah, I got it right. I also took in a little part of the side, and now it was perfect. To finish the straps, I folded in the edges so that you don't have like you get like a clean edge. First I wanted to make like buttonholes and put the button on the dress, but I thought, why would I do that? It's a dress, I can put it over my head, so why not just sew on the button on the strap and on the dress directly? Yeah, so that's what I did. I hand sewed the thread and needle. I sewed the buttons on directly on the straps and on the fabric. It was already looking so cute. At the back I did like a cross over, just because I think it looks cute. And I assembled it on the dress. I have this dress, this one, and it has like fake pockets, and it was my inspiration to also make fake pockets. I cut like 2 pieces of fabric, I sewed them together, turned them inside out. I folded over like 1 centimeter, which I'm gonna sew down, and then you can flip over the pocket so you hide the raw edge. And then I also, with like needle and thread, hand sew the buttons onto the fake pockets so they stay put. So they hide the raw edge you sew down. I hope this makes sense. Maybe it's, I don't know. And this is how it turned out. The only thing I had left to do was hem the bottom. And then, my lovely people, this is the final result. It's looking so amazing. The back with the crossing straps, yeah, it's also dance approved. You can even wear it as a summer dress. Whoa. I just think this is the cutest ever. Yeah, we did it. I did it. I think if we look at the initial drawing I made, the design I made, it comes pretty close. I think I made my design, which is so cool. Thanks so much for watching. The next video is gonna be also a really cool project. I found this old sweater at the thrift shop. As you can see, it has like a stain in the middle. I only paid like €3 for it, and I saw a video on Instagram of someone who made like big flowers and stuff all over a sweater, and I thought it was the coolest shit ever. So I think I'm gonna give it a try to see if I can make my own flower sweater. Yeah, that's gonna be the next project. Thanks so much for watching this video. I've been away for a while, I've been on holiday, but I'm so excited to get back into upcycling and making stuff. If you stuck to the end and you're still here, thank you, and see you in the next video. Mwah.